Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Purgatory brought to you by 4Strategy Gaming. This week's episode is a special one indeed. We will be giving you full coverage of last week's Diablo 3 media event and anything that was discussed. Major talking points for this episode will be the removal of skill points, Battlenet Features, the auction house in Diablo 3, some new character utility items, as well as some general gameplay observations. You heard and read correctly, skill points have been removed. As of now, we are looking at 6 active skills and 3 passive skills. And then with that said, passive skills will now be taking the place of traits. Now this is how it's going to work out. You start the game off with 2 skill slots available. Additional skill slots are unlocked at levels 6, 12, 18, and 24. Now clearly, now that we no longer have skill points, there are no respecs. That is not a thing that is in the game. How it's going to work is you will be able to freely move in and out of skills of your choice instead of being, choosing to go along a set path. For the passive skills, they will be unlocked at levels 10, 20, and 30. You do not initially start the game with any passive skills. Your first one, of course, is unlocked at level 10. So as mentioned, this new system allows you to switch out of your active and passive skills at any time. This makes it so that your skill decisions are not permanent, and you can try various builds on a whim. Now with that said, there will of course still be customization in the rune system, and that's certainly something to keep in mind. All of these skills will be scalable as you level, as well as the gear that you acquire. For further information about the removal of the skill systems, be sure to check out our interview with Jay Wilson. Diablo 3's Battlenet features were announced. They're going to boast kind of the usual stuff with the chat channels, persistent friend list, and cross-game chat. It is important to also note that they will be online only. Now there's a whole slew of other things such as public game find, PvP matchmaking, quick join friends, and dynamic co-op play, as well as the new banner system in the auction house. That's basically the quick run-by list of the Battlenet features. For a more in-depth discussion, be sure to check out our Battlenet specific video. Money, 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 money. Yes, you can make real-world money in Diablo 3, and it will be used through the auction house. You are able to buy and sell items in Diablo 3 through their auction house system. Very cool, very enticing indeed. With that said, very important to note that there is also a gold auction house in the game. If you decide you do not want to be part of the real money trading system, you do not have to be. You can just use the in-game currency, which is in gold. There will be a separate auction house just for players who want to use gold and not real-world money. This separation from Blizzard is certainly pretty awesome, and the fact that they're making this available to kind of replace some of those prominent third-party sites that would sell items in gold is pretty exciting as well. Little Cliff Note version. For more detail about the auction house, be sure to check out our auction house video. There have been some new character utility items added to Diablo 3, introducing both the Stone of Recall and the Cauldron of Jordan. The Stone of Recall allows you to return to town. There is no cooldown on it, and it has a 10-second channel time. With that said, if you are struck while channeling, the channel is cancelled. So this is the replacement of the town portal. Obviously, it can't be used in combat because, as mentioned, if you were hit, it will stop channeling, but while out of combat, you can cast the Stone of Recall at any time, and it will bring you right back to town. To the Cauldron of Jordan. The Cauldron of Jordan allows you to sell items anywhere. That is certainly exciting indeed, and this is again going to replace the need to have to continuously go back to town just to empty out your bag. That, in addition to the Nephilim Cube, which allows you to salvage items, break those down for materials to use in crafting. These two things are going to make it so you can just stay within the world, always be slaying demons, and you will never have to go back to town to clear up your inventory. I also want to make a quick note of the stash in Diablo 3. The stash will certainly be very large, and there are also extra tabs available that may be purchased with in-game gold. The stash is connected on all characters on your account, so it is a shared stash. And then also, the stash has a filter for class-specific gear. So if again, the stash is very large, and if you are having trouble finding specific gear for a certain character, you can just use the filter, sort it out by class, and that will certainly help make things a little bit easier. And then lastly, for this special episode of Purgatory, I'm just going to be giving you some general gameplay observations from my playthrough of the beta. Just little small tidbits that I noticed while playing. The map does ping the location of your next quest, unless you are meant to search for it. As an example, if there's something you have to check several tombs for to find some sort of item. But more or less, generally, the map will ping you to where the next location is for your quest. It'll make things a little bit easier when it comes to finding things. You will not be kind of meandering about, especially with the huge randomization that is in Diablo 3, not even knowing the layout of certain areas. It could be near impossible to find certain things. So yes, the map pinging will help make that a little bit easier. I'm not sure if this was already known, but shrines do provide buffs for your entire group, not just yourself. So if you activate a shrine, whatever buff it allocates to you, it will be given to the rest of your group as well. I'm assuming that is as long as they're within a certain vicinity. The banner system, this was talked about in a prior video, but the banner system will be in-game and in town. It allows you to teleport to any other player's location. So if you are in a game and you're in the middle of a dungeon and a friend of yours joins the game, he will be brought straight to town. Your banner will be in town and he can just click on the banner, he will be teleported right to you, and he can join in the action. Also, willpower has been removed. Right as of now, we are just looking at attack, precision, defense, and vitality. There's no longer willpower in the game. With that said, you know, these were stats that were automatically being allocated for us anyways, and I'm assuming that in place of willpower, the attack function will be the primary focus of any caster increasing their damage. Something else really neat I found was the in-game journal. It allows you to replay any of the lore that you've uncovered. In addition to that, there's also basically a little snippet about any monster types, such as the Unburied or the Fallen or anything like that. Whenever you discover that, there's a little bit of lore about them as well, and you can play these back at any time. So this isn't exactly an in-game bestiary, it's just like a little journal that'll recap any lore or character identification. And then this is very random, but the Z key allows you to zoom in a little bit. You still maintain the same fixed camera angle, it just brought a little bit closer. And that's something that I thought was kind of neat, although a little bit restrictive when it comes to actual gameplay. Just figured I would make note of that. Now, there will be no giveaway this week. There is a whole lot going on. Next week, there will be an additional giveaway, as we have been doing pretty much every week for the last month or so. The giveaway from last week will be continuing up until next week's Purgatory, if that makes any sense to you guys. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Lots and lots of information. I will be pumping out a lot of videos. At the end of this, there will be links to the other videos and anything discussed here that we said take a look at, such as the interviews with Jay Wilson, the auction house system, as well as the Battlenet features. So go ahead and just click on the annotations at the end of those videos to check out some of the plethora of videos that have been uploaded. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this Diablo 3 beta. Very, very close. As always, guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. Keep watching and keep owning.